want you to think about what you do. I want you to think about what you do. How can you do what you do in a way that nobody else does? Find the gap. Don't complain. Don't murmur. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions.
Life will test you. It will throw noise, distractions, doubts, and fears at you. It will make you believe you have to chase, to fight, to struggle for everything you want. But I'm here to tell you something. Something that will change the way you see your journey. Stay silent. Everything will come to you naturally. You ever notice how the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest? They talk and talk, trying to prove something. Trying to convince the world that they matter. But real strength, real confidence, doesn't have to announce itself. It just is.
What's up, everybody? This is the One Nation Podcast 864, and like I promised, man, we got our guy on here, the CEO of One Degree Entertainment, Kevin Bryant. Y'all, please give this young man a round of applause if you can, please.
Woo, I hear it. What's up?
What's going on, Kevin? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm pretty good. It's a lot going on today. You know, already it's going on. I know y'all heard about Angie Stone. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, rest in peace to her, man. We seen it.
Yeah, she was someone of a friend of mine, so.
Okay, man. Well, we sorry to hear that, man. Like I say, she was a great artist. You know, Angie Stone was somebody my mother loved too. A couple of my family members, man. We all love Angie. So, you know, we're going to send this one up for her. Rest in peace, Angie. And we're going to definitely miss you, man. That's real talk. Real
yes,
talk.
Sir.
But with that being said, man, you know, I'm glad we got that out the way. We showing homage to an icon. But we're going to talk to you today, man, about a couple things. Now, Kevin, if you don't mind me asking, brother, where are you from? Is it Atlanta originally, or where is it?
No, I'm from Jersey. Actually, I'm from Jersey. Wait, but I don't want to make my VA people mad. So I was born in Jersey. I grew up in Virginia. Shout out to 757. It used to be 804 when I was there, and then I ended up in Atlanta. Well, in Atlanta and New York. I lived in New York as well. I'm happy to say to the 757 people, there's a few of us like me, Missy Elliott. We went to high school together, and we all knew Timbo, and Pharrell and all that. So I'm a part of the VA crew. I was there since I was 10. So.
Okay. Now, let me ask you something, man. Yeah, you say you went to school with them. I mean, was the music always into these artists? Was it always into you? Was it like one of those things like you knew, like, yo, Timbaland gonna be this guy, or Missy's gonna be this woman? You know, is there anything that showed, you know, early, like how they was gonna live the rest of their life in this music thing?
Well, by the time I met them, yeah, because we were working on it. You know, Missy she used to rap a lot in school and sing. She used to sing too, and I did too. But by the time we met Timbaland and stuff, he was producing and all that kind of stuff, trying to, you know, work with us as music. But I graduated a year before them, so I left to pursue my thing. So. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. You know, I know you just named some greats right there you went to school with. And by the way, you're a great yourself, brother. I've been looking into the One Degree Entertainment now. I mean, once I got the info, I looked into it. But we gonna get to that because we got a lot of things we want to ask you, man. Like you say, you just told us where you from. Now, how did you get into music? Where did it start? The first vocal point, where did it start?
God, that was when I was like in kindergarten. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what my mother said. My mother used to sing in a gospel group. Shout out to my mom and my Aunt Gloria, because they used to sing in a gospel group. And my mother used to hold me at rehearsals. And she said, even when I cried in key. I was trying to sing with them. So I was like 6 months old. And my mom said she figured I was gonna sing. So that's a true story. Like, I didn't realize that, but she told me that. So, and ever since I can remember, kindergarten and doing my first. I just sang all the time.
Okay. Now you say you used to sing. Now let me put you on the spot. I'm not gonna ask you to sing, but I'm gonna ask
Right.
you if you had to pick one of your favorite songs, what is
You mean one
it?
of
Yeah.
my favorite songs to sing, or is a favorite song to
Yes,
listen to?
one of your favorite songs to sing and one to listen to.
Uh, I haven't really been singing lately, but like
Okay.
what people know me for mostly is Shaka Khan stuff, because
Okay.
I had a very unique vocal style, and I was in a range naturally. And I used to sing "Ain't Nobody" all the time, but "My Funny Valentine" ended up being one of my favorites to sing because you can sing
Okay.
it all kind of different ways. So
Right.
that's probably it. My Funny
Okay.
Valentine.
Okay. That's what's up, man. So your mother told you was doing this at an early age, so this is just in your blood.
Yeah, it is. My mother and my aunt. You know,
Okay.
a funny story. Like when I was like 8 and 9, my aunt used to sing in a group in Jersey, and I wanted to go so bad. I could never go watch her because I was too young. But
Mm,
I went to a rehearsal one time, and they put me up in front of the microphone, and one of the guys in the band said, "He gonna do something," and that's when it really hit me. I think that I
right.
like this. When I got in front of that microphone and I was singing and I heard myself come through the speakers, I was like, "Oh, I want to do this." And you know what else is funny? Like when I moved to Virginia, I was
Hmm.
riding down to Virginia and the radio was playing. I was leaving Jersey, going
Okay.
to Virginia. The radio was playing, and a song came on, and it was Rufus and Shaka Khan. It was a song called "Do You Love What You Feel?" And
Okay.
I heard her singing, and I was like, "Who is that? That sounds like me." I was a kid, and my mom looked at me like, "Sound like you? What you talking about?" But I didn't realize what I was saying because I grew up singing like that and singing in church and all that kind of stuff. And
Hmm.
then my very first record that I did was actually a Rufus and Shaka Khan record. My first
Okay.
record was that. It was called Any Love, and it was on the same album that I heard that song. Do you know
Okay.
what you feel? It's crazy how the story, and I can go into it later, but it's just crazy how all that happened.
Man, that's something. You're right. That is a crazy story, man. That's amazing because you have that talent that's in you. You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
from singing, where did singing lead you? Did it lead you to producing, or did you ever think like one day I want to be the CEO of a management group? Like, where did that come from? Because I'm trying to learn some things too.
Yeah. Okay. So at first it was all singing and performing. I used to do all of that. Then when I finally moved to Atlanta, I started
Mhm.
singing and I got jobs singing background for major artists. First
Okay.
thing I got was I think I did a couple of shows with Bobby Brown. That was
Okay.
the very first thing I got when he was around that "Don't Be Cruel" album and everything. I
Right.
started out there, but my first real experience was a artist by the name of Keisha Jackson, which is
Okay.
Millie Jackson's daughter.
Hmm.
Um, that was my first professional continuous gig, I think, and I
Okay.
learned a lot from that. We used to gig around the city. She was signed to Sony. We would gig with other artists. We were on tour when Jodeci first started. So I was around
Hmm.
all of that. Gerald Levert and them. I mean, so many
Oh
people
yeah.
that I was able to be around by being on tour with her first, and then I went on
Okay.
to sing background for her mother, Millie Jackson. Um,
Okay. Okay.
so I had a lot of experience in the background. Then I went on to sing background for so many other people. Larnay. I ended up touring with Maxwell for the part of his
Hmm.
tour. I sang a little bit with Tony Braxton, TLC. So I started just being
Yeah.
everywhere, and then I started doing a lot of studio work. So
Okay,
that's
so
how
let me ask
that's
you this.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Well,
No, I'm
this is what
saying
I want to
that's how
ask
it
you
started
now.
getting professional. That's how I started getting professional.
Okay. Now, since you don't work with a lot of artists, background singer, man, so I got to ask you another question. I mean, that's you named some top tier people there. You know what I'm saying? So my
Well,
thing
they was
is
just
like,
starting when I did it.
but they well, put it like this. I'm a little younger than you.
Right.
they was. they was those people in my, you know, when I was coming up.
Right.
So let me ask you this. What was I know you can't say what was your favorite artist to work with, but what tour did you go on, or who you sang with that just opened your eyes and you was like, okay, yo, this is big. I'm here now. So which artist was that did it for you?
Well, I can say it like this, because you learn a lot of stuff on different tours. But because I had the most and the longest experience with Millie Jackson, it's like I learned so much, and I met legends, and then I met other people. So I learned so much because we were able to do so many different things, because I was singing with her for her music, then I was singing her with a play at the time called Young Man Owns the Woman, and I was with that play for 4 years. You know, so in between I would jump on stuff. So I would say that experience really, with her, I learned the most. I can tell you the experience what I learned when I first got fired from, and you know, I happened to end up. I started touring with Pebbles, and you know, I learned a lot about how you respect the artist that you work for. And I remember I did something. I was trying to show her a part or something like that, and I remember she told me to sit down, because I did it in front of everybody, but I thought that was what I was supposed to do. And I called myself corrected, and she was like, So it was like, all right, Kenna can't be up there correcting me. So I lost that gig. I did like 2 shows, and then I wasn't there no more.
Yeah.
So I learned how to be, and with Millie too, I learned how to be a background singer.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot to come with it, man. That I guess what you should do and you shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, I applaud you, man, for doing that. That's a lot of artists there. But okay, now let's go here. Fast forward to me to when you moved to Atlanta. When you moved to Atlanta, what was it like? I heard you coming from VA and Jersey to Atlanta. What was that jump like?
Well, I lied to get to Atlanta, and I know my mom is probably listening, but no.
Let's hear it then.
I wanted to. I had to. In order for me to leave my house, my mom's house, I had to be in school. So I decided to go somewhere else to school. So because I went to Norfolk State first, and then I said I want to go somewhere else. And so I was researching where I should go. I was going to go to Chicago, but then I ended up going to Atlanta because some friends. Shout out to Kevin Williams, because he kept telling me I need to come where he was, because he went to a place called DeVry. So I wanted to get away. I had a vocal music scholarship to Morehouse, but I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be in the Glee Club. I wanted to do this real, because I grew up in the Glee clubs and the choruses and all that, and I was ready to do that. So I said I'll go to DeVry and I'll go there to try to be a singer, because LaFace had just moved here, and I knew about that. And when I got here, music was just, growing, and I ended up singing in talent shows, and I met a lot of people. As when I first met Kim Burse, a shout out to her, who became Beyonce's creative director, and she was sitting there looking at me sing one time, and she pushed me on, and it was just so weird to meet all these people. That's how I ended up getting the Bobby Brown thing from a certain talent show, and I would create my fan base. Everybody that was going to school with me would come support me in my shows, and I would always win. Shout out to Eugene Weems, because I remember all those people. They used to always ride for me, and everybody. I was the next thing popping. So when I moved to Atlanta, the music in the 90s was really, it was really like popping. So I got a chance to meet a lot of people, and that's how I started my journey. And I remember when Jermaine Dupri was just starting, and Dallas Austin, who now like these people, I was able to go in and do background on certain sessions, because you run into these people when they started. So that's how I ended up meeting the person, Tommy Henderson. Shout out to him. He used to let me go to his office. Yeah, up at LaFace. He was A&R at LaFace. And I remember he used to let me come up to his office all the time. And then, I just, in the street, I was singing everywhere, just singing background with Keisha, or trying to do my own shows. And then I ended up meeting some people who wanted to manage me at a time. And it was Kimberly Jones Brothers, D and Greg. I'll never forget this. And they took me up to Bryant Reed. And Bryant Reed's L.A. Reid's brother. And they had me up there at LaFace. And then I met Usher, and I started working with that. And just, they didn't know what to do with me yet, because I had this unique voice. It was different. So it was like, all right, we got to
Yeah.
figure this out. But then I got to hang around Usher a few times and,
Yeah.
work there and do stuff. Then I became what they call a reference demo singer. So I sung a lot
Okay.
of demos for a lot of songs that came through. So that's
Okay.
how I got in.
Okay. Okay. Let me you name a few people, man, that I'm crazy. Now let me ask you something, man. I got to. I'm gonna have a little fun with this right quick. And this was my guy. I mean, what was it like working with Bobby Brown?
Ooh.
Ooh, did I do that? Did I? Let me laugh at it right quick.
No, you know what? I'm not even gonna front. Like, it's so funny
Yeah.
because when I was in high school, I
Yeah.
honestly, right out of high school, I thought when Bobby Brown left New Edition,
Uh-huh.
I was trying to audition to be in the group with Maurice Starr
Oh,
because
really?
they had heard of me, and
Oh man, this is interesting.
my whole school thought I was gonna take his place, and
Oh,
it was so funny. I didn't know that a whole nother set of producers was working with them and took them away from Maurice, and they put Johnny Gill in the group. But
yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of would talk to Bobby, Ralph, and them a little bit when they would come to town for the back to school shows and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I ended up meeting him, he got like he didn't remember that. So it was cool. But when I did those few shows with him, it was cool because they was gonna he was working on a label and he was gonna sign
Okay.
me and all this other kind of stuff. I never had issues with him though. He was
That's what's
very
up.
he was busy, he was arrogant, but he was very busy and he was on his shit. He was focused,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wasn't around him long enough to have any issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have, and they said he was crazy, blah 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 blah. But that was a short part of early on for me. I went on
Yeah.
and started touring with Keisha Jackson, and so I
Mhm.
didn't really. But when I run into him, sometimes he'd be like, that was cool.
Yeah. 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 That's all right, man. Because I had to ask you that, man. Because Bobby was one of them dudes that I was crazy about, man.
Me
It's
too.
wild that I'm actually talking to somebody that sung backup on. I'm like, yo, this is exciting for me right now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I was really out there trying to do my own thing too, and I think at the time, the way he looked with the box fade and everything, and I had it was just
Right.
one of my friends was dancing for him too, so I
Okay.
didn't last long with him. I think I just was a fill-in for a while, but it was a good
Gotcha.
experience. It was a good
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. So now you say you was in Atlanta, you're doing this. So where did I don't want to get into One Degree Entertainment yet, but it's coming. But when did you decide like, okay, well maybe let's take another route? So how did you become the
Well,
CEO?
first I do have to because how I became CEO was a part of it, so I do have to go before that a little bit. Um,
Okay,
uh, doing all that stuff, singing with different people and everything, allowed
right.
me to get possible deals. Like I had a deal. I was supposed to get a deal with Michael Jackson's label. I was supposed to get a deal with Sony, and the rumor is Trey Lorenz took my deal because there was no more budget for me because he was with Mariah Carey. So
What?
yeah, it's so funny. Me and Trey cool now. Love that guy.
Okay.
He is so cool, but I don't think he even knows. Like when I
Wow.
was supposed to get signed, that's when Jimmy Starks was at the label, and I never forget. They had me come up there, and I know Mariah Carey, she was out, and that song they did together, it just blew him up, and I guess they just pushed him through. He was already there, but they
Yeah,
was like,
I got
oh,
you.
nah, we ain't taking nobody else. So they was trying to push me around to other labels and stuff like that.
Right.
Then I got hooked up with, the LA and Face squad. I was working with I think Damian Dame started producing me. And he was working on my
Cool. Okay.
project. And that's when I met a lot of other producers. I met Dallas, I met Dada. Shout out to him because I just ran back into him recently. And
That's
all of
what's
them
up.
was trying to, work with me. Everybody was trying to figure out what they could do with me. And
Hmm.
what happened was the LaFace thing never worked out. Like some of the records I did with him, shout out to Tommy Henderson again. Some of the records I did
Okay.
with him, that didn't go through because LA and Face started separating around that
Yeah,
time.
just started moving.
So
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
yeah, so it was no room. So what ended up happening, I had this management outside of St. Louis, which was the same people that worked with Nelly's people.
Okay.
And I did a demo there. When I did the demo there, the engineer there was a producer in New York, New Jersey area. So when he engineered my demo, he said, "Hey, when are you gonna be in New York?" And I was like, "Well, I'll be up there in January for like 6 weeks or whatever,"
Right.
because I was on the tour with the play Millie Jackson. So when I got up
Okay.
there, like I was on Broadway for like six to 8 weeks, but every Monday we was off. So every Monday I would either come back to Atlanta, work with the LaFace people, or I'll go over to Jersey and work with Paul Scott and Shank Thompson.
Okay.
Shout out to them
Okay.
and BOP
Shout out.
Entertainment. So what happened was I was doing that because I was working on a new demo for Pebble's new label, Savvy Records. I told
Okay.
her I was gonna give it to her because she's like, "Don't worry about it, baby. You're gonna get this." So I was working on that, and I always tell this story. So I did the demo with this guy, Paul Scott, because he wanted to break into R&B. He was a house music producer, and I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Everybody wanted me to do house a lot, but I didn't want to do it. But
That wasn't your thing.
yeah, when I did the demo, he said, "Hey, we got one more record to do," and I was like, "Okay, cool." He said, "I really want you to do a house record," and I was like, "Why?" And he was like, "I think you should." So I was like, "All right." I mean, we did all this work. I can go ahead and do that. And
Yeah.
he said, "What would I want to do?" And I said, "Well, if I do a house record, I want to do a Shaka remake." And he was like, "Which one?" I said, "I Know You, I Live You." And he was like,
Okay.
"Oh, that song?" You don't know
Yeah.
that song. Anyway, he said, "That's a good one." And he said, "But what about Any Love?" And I was like, "I never heard of it." So that's the story I was telling you. That was on her Master Jam project that
Okay.
I never
Okay.
heard. So I agreed to do it, and I said, "I don't want to hear nothing but the verses," because everybody would say, "You sound like Shaka Khan," and I never tried to. So
It was
I
just
did
in
the
you.
record, and then 2 weeks later, I came down to Atlanta, getting ready to get my demo to Pebbles and stuff. Couldn't get in touch with her. Nobody was answering the phone. I don't know if they was going through that lawsuit at the time, but he called me. He said, "You got a deal," and I was like, "Well, who?" He said, "Strictly Rhythm." Shout out to Gladys
Yeah.
Pizarro. He
Okay.
said, "Strictly Rhythm," and I was like, "Who is that?" He said, "It's the largest dance label in the world." And I was like, "Man, I'm trying to do neo soul and R&B." And he was like, "Well, I think this is a stepping stone for you." So I said, "All right." So I
Yeah,
ended
you
up
took
doing it. And then he said, "In 2 weeks, they want you to come up because they was going to sign me." So they
right.
signed me. I did the record. Then next thing you know, coming back, my aunt calling me, hollering, screaming, "Your record's on the radio." Then I'm coming back up to New York and said, "Your record's out." And I'm like, "What?" And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, I start blowing up in Italy and all over Europe and history.
Okay.
I'm a dance artist now, international recording art dance artist. That's what happened.
Yeah, but man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. For you to, come this far, you work with a lot of people, man. I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
listening to you say stuff. It's a lot of people you name.
yeah, I
Now,
worked with a lot.
so you have, and but I applaud you for that because man, you kept grinding, you kept going. That's one thing I preach on the podcast or just period, man. You didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? You kept going, and you said you had a goal in mind, and you was gonna do whatever it took to get it. Now we talking about that. I understood. Where did One Degree Entertainment come from? Where you come up with that name, and what was the look you was going for that?
That's so funny you asked where I come with that name. So because I work with so many people, I know a lot of
Okay,
people. So they
I
used to
see.
joke with me and call me. They used to call me Mr. 1 Degree.
Okay.
One of
Okay.
my VP, the VP of the label right now, Alvin, he came up with that. He used to call me Mr. 1 Degree because everybody said I was 1 degree from everybody in the world.
Mm.
And I'm like, so I thought about it. So I was working with some artists over at some other places sometimes, and I kept saying I was doing so much at these other labels and other production companies for them. And it
Gotcha.
got to the point where I was like, people would say, "You could do this yourself." And I was like, "Nah," because it was just easier for me to just bring my gifts over to something already
Okay.
established. But it got to a
Okay.
point where when I realized I was being taken advantage of, and I said, "You know what?
Mm.
I can do this." And I started out as just management. And
Okay.
I realized that artist development was missing because I was developed. Everybody I know was developed. And so
Right.
artists now, they don't have artist development. So my job was to manage artists that I thought was great and develop them to become superstars. So that's where it
Okay.
was. And what's so funny, because even I love singing, I love being on stage, I love being an artist. That's my
Right.
gift. But
Okay.
my calling was more than that. My calling was to identify artists and their gifts and their talent. Because when people come to me, I do
Hmm.
vocal lessons and all that stuff. When people come to me, I see the star that they want to be. So I got a nickname called Star Coach, because
Okay.
I worked with like Usher, I worked with Summer Walker, I worked with August Alsina. So they call me a Star Coach. So
Okay.
that's what I started loving to do. So I decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna just call it One Degree. That's why the logo is a world on the front and a
Yeah.
degree, and it spells out one, because One Degree Entertainment. I can do that, and that's
Gotcha.
what I started to do. So I took all the artists that I was working with, and I was like, hey,
Hmm.
we're not just a management company, we're not just artist development, we're a label now too.
Yeah.
So
That's all
that's
right,
how One
man.
Degree came about.
Okay, that's okay. Now, let me ask you something. This is a question about the artists from back in the day and the artists now. What do you see about the biggest difference from the artists today and back then when you was coming through? And what I mean by that, I mean back in the day, you was just telling me how difficult it was. Like, you was doing this, you was doing that. Now, is it to the point now where the artists today got everything at their fingertips, or was it one of those things where they don't understand the grind that you guys went through back in the day?
The grind is totally different. No, they don't understand it. And I know some of
Gotcha.
these young artists think I'm old, but I ain't old. I just know the ingredient to be an organic superstar. You still need to do the same things. Like, I mean,
Okay.
when you want a good meal, you still got to put the same ingredients into it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
Right.
like today's artists, they don't understand the value of
Hmm.
what they're doing. To me, they don't understand sacrifice at all, because it's way too easy to upload your music. Back when I was doing it, we went to seek and find people just to hear us.
Right.
Now you can just upload your music and you be like, I got a record out. So getting a deal is not even the same value anymore. So
Mm,
and
mm.
artists now feel like they don't have to listen, a lot of them. So that's why we
Okay.
lost the value of what a legendary superstar is, because they don't have to put as much work just to get a song out anymore.
Understandable. Understandable. That's exactly what I was thinking, because I was like, I said, man, I'm pretty sure the difference from back then, they actually was on the grind. They was going here, they was going there. And nowadays, like it's like you got everything at your fingertips. Like you can just like you say, upload this and you got a you got a record now. To where back then, no, you had to go see those people. You had to fight through those doors, them offices, them barriers, and stuff like that. But I commend you on that, man. That One Degree Entertainment. I always, when I seen it, I was like, I want to ask him, how did he come up with that name, and where did it where did it come from?
It's me.
Now, yes, what's up, man? And with your label now, let me ask you this: how many people do you have? How many artists is on One Degree Entertainment? Because I think I've seen some, but probably not all of them.
I think you might have saw three of them. But
Three.
I currently have six artists right now. Three of them are
Okay.
just already out into the platform. The other three, we're working on their music now, and we're working
Okay.
on them coming out. I like to say that it's a level of development still. Even the process of getting ready to come out is development
Okay.
also. So the
Okay.
three that you see
Okay.
now, you see Brielle, who's excellent. I mean, Brielle, she has a record out right now called Soft Gear Era, which is on the compilation
Okay.
as well. And she has another record out called Pull Up. She's all, even though she's kind of ready, there's still a level of development, because it's not just your talent or your gift, it's the business itself. You have to be
Gotcha.
developing that. When they come out, I want them to speak right. I want them to interview good. I want them to look
Right.
right. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's a 1 degree formula that I created. You know what I'm saying? And my
I got you.
team is
I got
amazing.
you.
Like, I have a great team. So all of them are like
Hmm.
superstars in their own right, you know, as far
Right.
as what they do. So I couldn't wait to launch it. This is really the first public thing specifically about 1 degree that I've done, is with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, well, hey, I appreciate that. That's like an exclusive then.
it is. It
that's
is.
what's that's what's
Because a
up,
lot of
man.
people
That's
like,
what's up.
yeah, because they didn't know it was me, but
Yeah.
Hey, open to the public now. One Degree Entertainment. ODE.
Well, man, I thank you for being able to share that on this platform with me, man. I appreciate that. I really do, man. Now, you if I remember, you got a project dropping soon, right? It's this month, right?
Actually, you mean the One Degree project? It dropped
Yeah,
today. It's out today.
it's out today. Can you tell people where to find it at? Because people been asking me. I said, well, y'all be ready for the podcast, and we'll
Yep.
talk to them and he'll let you know. Okay.
Well, it's out on all platforms right now. If you got Alexa
Okay.
and Siri and Google Home and all that, you just say ODE Presents Volume 1. ODE. But it's One
ODE present.
Degree. Yep. It's One Degree Entertainment Presents Volume 1.
Okay.
There's a unique reason why we do it that way. Like One Degree,
Mm-hmm.
the company will put out a series of compilation projects, right? With a group of artists that we work with that we feel are to be out. So we'll do that. Now they all have individual projects. So most of the time when you see a compilation from the company, it'll say One Degree Presents.
Okay. That's all right. Now, what can the people expect from this project, man? Because I know they coming with some heat.
You know, today was crazy because a lot of people was calling saying, "Oh my God, this is good." But I'm gonna say this: you can expect good R&B, what it used to feel like, with a little newness to it. Some Caribbean vibes on there, and some real soft, light type of R&B pop, kind of like not necessarily gritty and all that. But I'm gonna explain because Jawan, he's a new heartthrob for everyone. He's the heartbeat of R&B. That's how you gotta do it. He has a great record up there called Player Song. It's a club banger because his project is about to come out soon. And we want to get everybody ready for that. Then you have Jericho, who is very much implanted in real good R&B singing. He's a soulful singer that has an incredible pen. Also, he writes as well. He actually did a song for Justin Bieber. A while back when Jericho's been in the business for a little while. He's actually my nephew cousin. I got it. I went back and got him. I had to get him because I know what he comes from. And then there's Brielle, Brielle is like one of the most magnetic personalities that you would ever want to meet. She reminds you of, and I'm saying this I'm putting it out there. She reminds you a little bit of Aaliyah. She reminds you a little bit of Kehlani and Aaliyah kind of mixed. And then Monica, she has a tone like Monica. So all of that together. So you're gonna love Soft Girl Era. You're gonna love Pull Up because those are her songs. You're gonna love Catch a Vibe and Commentator by Jericho. And you're gonna love Player Song by Jawan.
Okay, well, we definitely gonna check that out, man. And I know I got some people that definitely want to know what was One Degree, and now that they know, man, trust me, my people, they love R&B vibes. Don't get me wrong, we like hip hop too, but we was raised on R&B.
I got some of that coming too on a few other projects. Some hip hop and some pop. You know, I got that coming. So I got Cam Nettles coming. He's coming out soon, I think in April, the end of April. So it's a lot in store. It's a lot in store.
Okay. Well, let's check this out. Now, you are the CEO. I want to ask you this. What is a day like for the CEO of One Degree Entertainment? Oh, he started shaking his head. Y'all. I gotta laugh at him on that one.
Woo! Well, I gotta say this. I have a great team. But being a CEO of a new company, I can't even explain the day. Like, it's so much going on, so much come at us, and then you're trying to figure out how to filter things out too. Because I am a new company from this seat. You know, I understand the artist thing really well, but the unique thing about this is, I know everything that needs to be done, right? So, me filtering all of that knowledge and experience out to everyone else is the task, because everyone else got to learn it too, and they have to follow suit as if they're me. So they have a lot to take in. Like, okay, this is Kevin's company. It has to be a 1 degree formula that comes from me. So that in itself is a lot. And I respect all of them that work with me because they coming on this journey in the beginning. They're the original members. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So whatever 1 degree becomes, it's because of us. And the days you can't even explain them. You have to experience it. What a day like is for me with 1 degree.
I bet, man, because I want to ask you, like, the music industry, you hear about so much stuff, man, and I'm like, okay, it has to be hell sometimes, you know, but, you know, you manage it pretty well, brother. I mean, I see you sitting up here, you talking about your artists. It's one thing I can understand from you care about your artists. You love your artists. You know what I mean? You know, you got some people just don't know, you know, yeah, they're all right, but you go in deep with it, you know, and you tell, you know, what type of artists they are. And I like that. And then, you know, you work with, you know, I keep going back to this. You work with everybody. It seems like you don't work with everybody, man.
It do seem like that even for me. Like I go, did I work with them? No, I mean literally. And then I hear songs that I know that are from, and I go, did I sing on that? You know,
right.
I've been blessed to be able to do that, but now I understand why all that was happening. Because this right here, I need to be in every part of this. I need to understand. I have my experiences. I've been to 3 Diddy parties. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where the industry's going, and I understand that there's a void now. So I have to be the one to fill that void. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we, at 1 degree, we're going to try to do that and change the industry, or not necessarily change it, but bring it back to what it needs to be. Hopefully, if I can get the right artists to understand. The one thing I want artists to understand, you have to be your own sacrifice now. You have to be your own sacrifice. They don't know how to sacrifice because it's too easy.
Yeah, like you said, it's too easy now, man. They got everything at their fingertips, man. And it's just one of them things where you be like, darn, it wasn't this easy back in the day when, you know, when I was there, you know, and I wish I had it that easy. it don't work like that.
I ain't even have social media. You know how many times I would have went viral?
A lot.
I got stories. Like, you know, and that messed up a lot of their mindsets, because if they go viral, they think they made it. Or if they have a million followers, they think they made it. But you got a million followers, but you get on stage and can't perform. What's the point?
Yeah. That goes back to you saying, you know, that package you want your artist to have, you know, how to speak, how to get on stage and perform, not just your vocals, you know, everything that comes with the artist. You know what I'm saying? And I like that you putting that together and you showing them that. But let me ask you this, if it was social media back in the day, where you think Kevin would be right now?
You know, that's a good point. If it was social media, I probably wouldn't have been doing 1 degree, because I wouldn't even have done it. No, I would have did something else.
I got you.
But I think if social media was the way it is now, when I was doing it, I would probably be a billionaire right now.
I feel you, because all them people you work with, I know you blew up quick, man. I know you. So we did this. I understand that you love Shaka Khan, but let me do this right quick. Besides her, what is another female R&B singer that you wish you could have worked with?
A female that I wish I could have worked with that I haven't worked with.
Yeah, that you haven't.
Whitney Houston.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
Because
I can see that.
I knew 2 of her background singers very well, and I met her once, hung out with her. She's actually, she was cool. Her, Pebbles, and Sherelle used to hang out together, and I sang background for Sherelle and Pebbles. Didn't sing background for Whitney, but Whitney I saw a post yesterday, and somebody was out there and was like, everybody talking about Whitney's the voice. She couldn't write a song, she couldn't dance, she couldn't arrange music. Okay, my thing is this. Nobody said anything about Whitney Houston writing songs. Nobody said anything about Whitney Houston dancing. Nobody said anything about her arranging. All they talk about is her voice. You get what I'm saying? So the way she did a melody, the way she could take a melody and just deliver it with the emphasis on certain words or certain part of it. I love that. And so if anybody trying to take away from Whitney because she didn't write like Mariah, I guarantee you, if Whitney sang anybody else's song, it'll probably be 10 times more than what it is. I don't like to say better, but you'll see the difference. So Whitney Houston is definitely one of the artists that I wish I could have worked with.
Okay, now I did female. So give me male now. What's one of the male artists you wish you could have worked with?
I almost did it.
Who is it?
Michael Jackson.
Oh boy, you had me hot so much.
Nah, when he was getting ready to go on the This Is It tour, I was getting ready to get picked up as one of the pit singers.
Man. What?
Never got that opportunity. Yeah, because one of my friends actually was singing with him, and then they, when you know somebody, you used to get the other little part, and that way that could have led me up to fill in on the stage. You know what I'm saying? But I never got to work with Michael Jackson. But I love Michael Jackson. I loved a lot of male artists. But I met so many of them already. Like I would have said Stevie Wonder, but then when I ended up meeting them, I did a little heritage thing with Stevie before. But yeah, love the art. It's some of the artists that I really like male that I really wanted to work with, like Peabo Bryson. And I'm gonna say this. I don't feel this way now, but I'm being real and raw. I don't care. I used to love Peabo Bryson, right? And he had a song called "Feel the Fire," and I would sing that song to win all my talent shows. And I met him in Atlanta one day, and he was horrible to me. He was rude. And I said, you know what? I hate I met you. Even though I used to look up to you, but I hate I met you, and that's why I sing your song better than you. And I said that to him. I sure did. I said that to him, and I had a run-in with Freddie Jackson. Hey,
now how was that?
I was walking down the street, right, in New York. And I saw Freddie Jackson walking out of a bar, but he was walking down the street too, right? And I knew that the bass player that I had playing with me in New York was his bass player. So I was like, I said, Mr. Jackson, blah, 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 blah. I'm Kevin Bryant, I'm a singer, and I gave him a flyer to my show. I said, we share the same bass player. And he said, well, first of all, you don't walk down the street and give someone a flyer and ask them to come to your show. And I was like, well, why not? And he was like, hey, and you say we share the same bass player. I'm sure you don't pay him what I pay him. I said, I'm sure too.
You damn right.
Pay him what you pay him. Nigga, you Freddie Jackson.
You Freddie Jackson.
So I was like, that's okay, give me my flyer back. And I snatched the flyer out of his hand and I kept on walking.
Hey man, don't you hate that though? Like it's somebody that you really, admire and you want to sing, and then when you meet them, you be like, yo, this is not what I expected.
And see, that's the thing. People have no idea of how they affect another person that can change the course of everything. Like I looked up to these people. I'm becoming a great artist because of them. And then when I meet them, they treat me like that. I'm like, you know what? You cancel.
Yeah, it's over. But I'm still gonna sing the song better than you, but it's over.
Yeah, I said that. I was a little. I had a mouth on me, boy.
Hey man, we all have, man. We done been there before.
I probably would do that today.
All right, now we did this, man. So the artists these days, we like you say, they got everything at their fingertips. We already talked about that, but is it one? I'm gonna say it like this: not so much of one you wish you would have worked with, but is it one that you feel like is very talented, but he don't have that?
Somebody interrupted the call.
Oh, okay. Is it one artist out there today you feel like that you wish you could have worked with to give that whole package to, like we talked about, like how to perform on stage and how to just handle themselves in the public eye? Because you got a lot of artists out here now. Don't get me wrong, they talented, but like you say, they don't have that. They don't have that package. They don't know. They don't have the it. You know what I mean?
You mean an artist that's out there already that don't
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
hit?
yeah. I
Do
went
you
there,
want me
Kevin.
to
Yep.
say it? No, I'm not gonna say that. Hey, do you do you mean an artist that I actually worked with or
Let's
want to
do.
work?
Let's say want to work with. Mm,
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Forget it. I
okay.
don't care. I mean,
If
we
you
in
don't want to,
Atlanta.
you know.
There's an artist out there that I really want to be on his team because I think they haven't given him a fair shot, and I don't think he has what he needs around him, and that is
Okay.
Sammy. That's Sammy.
Okay. Okay.
Now
I can see that.
he got a bad rap on the versus thing, people. But
Yeah.
I actually worked with him a little bit when he was when he was out as a young kid, and I see him
Okay.
now. And I'm like, they got him wrong. Like they got him wrong. I wish I could work with him now because I feel like what me and my team will bring for Sammy, I think
Mm,
it'll resurrect his career because he's an awesome talent.
right.
So,
Right.
Sammy,
Right.
I'm looking for you, buddy.
Sammy, you
Come to
heard that,
one
man.
degree.
And my wife was crazy about him. Crazy
Yeah,
about Sammy.
yeah. But
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 you're right.
again, what I want to say to you though about that too, I think every artist that's out there, they deserve to be out there for some reason. Like a lot of people used to dog Britney Spears out, but anybody
Yeah.
that can do that and be out there, there's a talent there somewhere like that. Like Drake. I know people gonna
Yeah.
kill me, but I mean I
Uh-oh.
come from New York. Like real hip hop. I like Drake's melodies and stuff, but I mean,
Yeah.
to me, that's when they called him a male. He got male R&B. I was like, no, that's not
No, that's
it.
not.
But
Yeah.
what he does though, and how he makes it successful, that's where the
Hmm.
gift is.
Right. 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 Because
So
right now, I mean, he don't get me wrong, man. And I hope they don't jump on my head about this too. I like Kendrick and I like Drake, but let me say something, man. A lot of people, I don't like when people be bumping somebody's music and then when somebody else come along, they just act like they wasn't, a big fan of them. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Because
you go
because
ahead,
Drake
Kevin.
was doing this thing for a long time, and he got hits. So don't
Yep.
get me wrong, the little beef thing they got going on. Okay, we understand Kendrick. He stood on all 10. That's cool, but don't forget, everybody
But
was
look,
bumping Drake.
we live in the real land of Oz. This is the Wizard of Oz. When they say it's green, we all out there trying to wear something green. When they say it's gold, we gold. When they say red, so that's really what it is. We don't really give artists a chance. We don't give them a chance to get older. You want to hear them like they was when they was 10, and they're not 10
Right,
no more. You don't respect
right,
the fact that they got a life too. And then this is
yeah,
another thing that get me: the Super Bowl. Remember when the Super Bowl was something you had to aspire to? I mean, come on. Like,
yeah,
I ain't mad at I love Kendrick Lamar. That oh my
yeah,
God, he
yes, sir.
deserves every opportunity. But I also feel like Lil Wayne put a lot of work in the industry. He did the work to be able to be considered. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
He's a rock star. Like he's
right.
everywhere. What happened to those days instead of us picking somebody popular to do it?
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that, Kevin, because you're right. And it was in his hometown too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that was kind of like, Wayne should headline this. Even if Wayne headlined it, he had somebody. Wayne should have been in it
I
somewhere.
agree.
That's where I
I agree. I
feel.
agree.
That's where I
Wayne
feel.
was a star well long before a lot of these people.
Right now, have you ever got a chance to be around any hip hop artists?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say Mary J. Blige, but no. But yeah, but no, like, you call Outkast hip hop?
Oh yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Down south.
yeah. I was with them. I was in the studio when they did their first album. I was friends with
What?
Organized Noise, and that became a thing. And I used to go in there with them. The Brat.
Okay.
Um, doing my I haven't been around any much northern hip hop. I have friends I
Okay.
know them, but as far as
Yeah.
hanging around them, no, just
Yeah.
like Outkast, the Brad, some of the
Yeah.
I've been a part of the Snoop Dogg camp for a minute, so yeah.
Oh wow. Now what? What was that like? I mean, because Snoop is a wild boy. You know.
Actually, he ain't as wild as everybody think. That's more image.
Okay, I got you. I'm glad you told me that.
He's an intelligent, kind-hearted dude. Like
I believe that.
if you've been around Snoop and you're around him, like it's like your cousin, your uncle, he
Right.
just want everybody to be, he like everybody to be comfortable.
That's cool. That's cool,
Yeah.
man. And that's that's
I
good.
will
That's good, man.
Yeah, and I will say this because I got shout out to Angelo Ellaby because I knew a lot of the hip hop artists that are big, like when they first started, like DMX. I used to be
Yes, sir.
around him all the time. He used to come and watch us in the play. He would stay up with us in our room and everything. Like he hung around us for weeks before his name is Earl, but before he became
Right.
DMX, it was him. Way back, Father MC. Like those are my
Mhm.
friends. Now I have the chance. I work with Chubb Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, that's my hip hop artist thing. And I'm probably forgetting some, but I know a lot of them. I mean, consider
Okay.
Missy in hip hop. I don't know.
Right. Right, right. Hey, Missy was something serious when she came out, man. Still is. I still listen to her music to this day. Cause see, a lot like me. I mean, don't get me wrong. The new music, I'm gonna be honest. It's hard for me to get with the new hip hop. So I still listen. I try to listen to it for the sake of my little cousin and nephews. Cause hey, man,
Yeah,
you need to hear this. Okay. But when I throw something in, they be like, "Nah, that ain't it." No, that's it. That's where it comes
yeah,
from. You know what I'm saying? So
yep, yep.
you got to understand that, man. But I got one more. I got one more question for you. I want to pull out my bag, man. I want to pull this one deep out my bag. It ain't too bad. It ain't nothing. Um, if you had some advice to give to, let's say, a I'm not gonna say struggling artist, but up and coming artist. If an artist is looking at this right now and he want to get into the music industry, what would Kevin tell him to do? Because I know Kevin was on the grind for a long time.
Yeah.
But like we said, since you got the world at your fingertips now, what approach should they take?
First of all, I think they should research old school. Research the legends, the people that came before them, that paved the way, that opened up a door for them to be able to do this. Know
Gotcha.
everybody that you can know and find out who you can replace or who is close to you. Like if I'm a singer now and I'm like Keith Sweat or whatever, I think you
All
need
right.
to do that and look at what they did. Look at what the legends and the greats did. A lot of times now the artists they feel like they don't want to look at that because it's a new time. It is a
Right.
new time. But when you can add what you already know and go back and
Mm-hmm.
grab what you don't know, you you
Mm-hmm.
you're destined for it. So I would say that research, know all your old history and the people in the music came before you, and also believe in yourself to the utmost. And you
Gotcha.
gotta sacrifice yourself. All these things that you think you need, you don't need. You gotta put
Okay.
music, you gotta put this jump first. You gotta put it first
Gotcha.
and find people that believe in you, not just the art.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I got you. I got some comments on here, Kevin. I got Eddie Young say understand contracts. So that's something I guess the new artists have. Yeah, yeah, because I've heard of some of them, some bad ones.
You know what? I know Eddie Young too. And yes, understand contracts because I've been through that too. Look at everything. A lot of these artists feel like when they get a contract, they make it and that's it.
Yeah,
No, you got to read those contracts because those words can play on you. There's a play on
right,
words. So understand
right.
contracts, the business, period.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. But man, we've covered a little bit of everything, man. I was gonna read some of the comments.
I want to
I
know what
see
they
Myra.
say.
They say Myra. I see Myra here. Myra say, Kev, do you remember Cisco? So
Oh yeah.
Cisco.
Okay, so real quick, Cisco hate me, but no, when I was doing my thing, we were rehearsing. Actually, one of the nights that Pink actually got signed, I was
Yeah.
rehearsing in another room, and she was in
Okay.
the showcase. But Cisco and all them came in, and I was back there singing, and Cisco was acting like he was little. He turned his nose up at me because I was hitting them high notes and stuff. So we
Yeah.
always had like this little. Yeah, this little hate thing and all that. So yeah, but Cisco's cool with me. Shout out to the thong song because he did that.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. You're right about that. Yeah, we had some comments, man. I had to pick a couple, just to talk about, man. And like Myra said, when it comes to the new kids on the block, as you want to say, the up and coming artists, also be able to listen. You know what I'm saying? That's what she
That's
said.
the big
Just be it. Yeah,
listen. Yeah.
definitely. You're right. And
She
that's
knows.
that's what that's what.
Myra's a part of
Go
1 Degree. She knows. She knows.
ahead. Yeah, and I think that's something we all need to do, man. Not just the artists, but like somebody like yourself who has been in the game for a long time. They should listen to what you're saying because you know it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That's like somebody that's been hooping for a long time, and a young player come up to him. Well, I can do this and I do this. No, you need to listen to your coach. You need to listen to who's telling you what to do because we've been through these things. You know what I mean? But it's hard to reach the new generation sometimes, Kev.
Because everything's at their fingertips. Why they gonna
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
to you when they can just go push a button? That's what
yeah. They
they
can.
think. But those are the ones that ain't gonna make it. Watch what I tell you.
Yeah, you're right. They can go use Google or anything to find out whatever they want to find.
But Google ain't experienced this stuff. Somebody put that in there.
Right,
You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right. You're right, brother. You're right about that. Well, look, man, I've had a great time on this podcast with you, man. Is it I usually close out, I do a little different, but since we got you on today, is there anything you wanna say, you wanna shout out, your new project or where we can find you or anything like that, and let the people know a little bit about it.
Well, you can find 1 Degree and 1 Degree Entertainment everywhere. That's fine. You can find me, yes, Kevin said it on IG, Kevin Bryant on Facebook, and everywhere else. I am Kevin Bryant. And I want to shout
Okay.
out my team. My team.
Go ahead.
I can't name everybody because that'll be too long. But I want to shout out everybody. Alvin, he's in the hospital right now. Alvin, sends prayers up to him.
Prayers up.
The refrigerator. Thank Myra because Myra, I think, got me here. Shout out to Lisa
Yeah.
Gonzalez Williams, China. She do so much work. Preston Willis, Terrence Gibson. I got everybody. Tony Crow, my PRO guy. Jerome Dorn. Oh my God, I can't forget nobody. DJ. Just everybody. Who am I missing? I know they're gonna kill me.
They
The
are.
artists: Brielle, Dorico, Jawan.
Yeah.
Trey, Morris, Emmy, Cam, just everybody.
That's good, man. That's good. And it seems like
I
you got a
can't do
good
it by
team.
myself.
Yeah,
There's no way I can do this by myself.
and that's good,
Brianna.
man. Oh, you got a bunch
Yeah,
of them, man.
And check
And
out the
that's good.
compilation, y'all. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. Please listen to it. Please stream it. Please download it. Do all you can. It's my first
Okay.
one. I can't wait till y'all hear the remixes. I'm already working on the next one. We got some great artists coming up. You'll be
Yeah.
shocked and you'll know that they came from me, 1 Degree. I'm telling you, we're bringing the
Okay.
industry back where it used to be, where it needs to be.
That's what's up, man. I'm actually honored, man, to be on here with you today, man. I'm glad you came on the podcast, came on the platform, and spoke some life into everybody today, man, about the music industry and what you got going on in Atlanta, a little bit about yourself and your background. Hey, man, it's been fun. I enjoyed it, brother.
All right, thank you, and you promote your butt off. Y'all check this podcast out. You got a
Appreciate
lot.
it.
You got a lot. So.
No problem, man. I appreciate it, man. With that being said, y'all, Kevin, I'll be in contact with you soon, brother. We're gonna try to do this again. And like I said, man, this is the One Nation Podcast 864, and I'm signing off. Peace.
Peace.